What's up, everybody? All right, so today I'm going to go into getting and using reviews to scale your business. We did 30 million in cash collected last year, and the goal of this channel is for me to show what we're doing now, where we have failed, where we are growing, and how we are getting to 100 million a year in cash collected. All right, so what I'm going to go into today is the difference between the internal and the external reviews, how we get them, and what we do with them. Okay, so to start internal, we have onboarding feedback, 30-day feedback, 90-day post activity. I'll go into this, random feedback, and email signature stuff. All right, so this is basically what we collect and how we collect. See, they're both very similar because they're specific to the actual piece that they are triggered on, as well as the feedback to them. Okay, so onboarding. This can be used for like any business. The example of this is for our coaching business, online coaching. So onboarding is with the CS rep that happens right after someone purchases. Okay, so when that's complete, email sent, and it's also prompted in SMS for them to rate and review the different pieces of the onboarding that has occurred. Okay, so why we collect that is so you can rank and so you can gather feedback on how those calls can be better and how they can be better suited for the customer, right? And just overall feedback. These are evergreen, as well as are a lot of these, meaning that as long as you're onboarding new people, as long as there's a new customer inflow, you're constantly going to be getting this feedback. And you can adjust the questions and you can tailor it and continue to gather that feedback over time without having to do pushes and just random like launches, all of that. It just consistently comes through. So same thing with 30-day. This is going to be for fulfillment specific. So this is going to be for, in our case, the coaches and how we get that feedback. Now, important on 30 and 90, for these we use NPS. And when we use NPS, when it is a 9 or above, we push them after to basically review us on external sites, which I'll go into in the bottom portion. But overall, you're just gathering all this super valuable feedback. And then we also collect like a KPI dashboard for the coaches and the fulfillment to be able to rank who gets the highest, why do they get the highest, what are the soft metrics, what are the hard metrics. Back in like now that we have GPT, you can seriously just dump all of these into a spreadsheet, put them into GPT and be like, what are the common keywords? What are the common phrases people use? What is the coach that comes up the most, right? Like these different pieces that are super valuable that would take a lot of work before, don't take any work now at all. Post activity, I say evergreen on this, but it's kind of like this portion is not evergreen, but the process is. So post activity meaning like any type of conversion event, any type of what's a good example? So like if you have a coaching call cadence for group coaching. So every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you have coaching calls or whatever, Monday, Tuesday, Friday. So you have these different coaching calls. After that, you have it set up so that the attendees of it get feedback. So it's evergreen in the way that it's automated, but there's specific events that actually occur. Or another better example is when you have an external speaker come in and speak to your community, right? So that might not be happening all the time, but you want an automated way of feedback to know, is that the same type of speaker we want? Where did people get value or not? Based on that, is there somewhere else that we can offer better things to our customers that'll allow us to get higher LTV and, you know, get a better result for the client, right? Stuff like that. So I do call that post activity, but it also kind of fits into this random feedback bucket, which is sometimes marketing will want something and they'll be like, okay, what is the best pool you have is your customers for the feedback, obviously, right? So we will say marketing wants to know, what did you see in the ad that stuck out to you? What's your favorite part about this? From where you started to where you are, what was the biggest evolution or thing that you felt, right? And like ask these like prodding, like good questions. And then we can use those same way, drop it in GPT or just looking across the sheet and be like, okay, a lot of them are saying they became more empowered, right? So like that word specific, or that macronutrients pops up a lot, or that the transformation they felt, or their home life, or like these different pieces that then you can pull back and bring to the front of the funnel that then carries across. Because if these are your best customers and these are what they're saying, why wouldn't you layer it in to bring those same type of people in, right? So this is huge for us. We do collect it on the front end as best we can, like in application and all of that, but you just, once someone's a customer and they're in it, they can sometimes give better feedback to their current process, but it's a little bit harder for them to remember maybe like, oh, I saw it on Facebook or YouTube, or oh, this is how I felt, you know, when I was sitting on my couch when I clicked it. So, and the last one is evergreen email signature. So this is basically just wherever your main email is. So like support at company name. I'm trying to remember where I heard this recent, but we're rolling this out right now actually. So this is real time, but we've never had this. So basically ranking your email support. So like how did we do 1 to 5? And then if it's 5, it routes to the external ones. So that's amazing. Can you leave a review for us here? And if it's 1 to 4, it's an internal feedback form. So same thing. You gather super important customer feedback. There's an extremely high volume of emails in CS, so we can get a ton of feedback. And then it also gives us the opportunity to get more evergreen reviews. Okay? External. This is the fun one. This is why everyone should be here and what you do. So for what we collect, we have a URL that is basically just wordbabe.com/review, and these are the core places that we want to collect them. So BBB, Trustpilot, Facebook, Google, and an actual testimonial. All right? So let me carry these over here and talk through them all. All right, so BBB, so this is all gonna be specific to your customer demo and where they exist, right? So BBB is pretty well known for basically all online businesses. It's very specific for us. It is a big needle mover in our market because 40 to 60 year old is our target, and they use stuff like this, right? They look in places like this. So BBB was a big one for us to push and make sure we get them. I'm gonna go into how we collect, which is like the true sauce here, but I just wanna go through all these pieces just to give context. Trustpilot, this has become more and more important, and they are like breaking away as kind of one of the core places to collect reviews and have them all centralized. It's kind of painful, honestly, to like collect them and do it, and they make you try and pay like $500 a month, and we do our best to do our way without having to do like all their automated widgets and all that. Trustpilot's huge. Facebook, that's the actual Facebook pages, so the company page and the pages that you run ads from. Google, just like a Google My Business setup, just because sometimes those rank in different ways, and it's just good to have presence there. And then these are the absolute gold. So video review, what we use is we use Testimonial.to, and then you set it up so that all of these, that when they record them, they are in the same format. So it's basically like a template here. The video is recorded in the same way, and they're all following that same template. And it's a super, super good like automated way to collect for video reviews. Now, where we use the video reviews mainly is on our site. We have like a success tab, and we collect them into here. This page has a 2x conversion of this page to get people to the next CTA. So video reviews right here, just a constant stream of different ones that are in the demo, right? So 40 to 60 year old women that are in the demo, and we collected all of these through that Testimonial.to. Okay, so that's a huge one. And then customer interview, that's like the creme de la creme. That is when you find people that have the best reviews. You find people that left the best review on a Trustpilot or gave the best testimonial. Then you can introduce them to, do you want to get on a call with the expert, the coach, the business owner, the whoever? And that's where we do these. So these are mid to long form, and these are built for consumption. So the goal being that someone is consuming these before getting on the phone, so that they have just more brand connection, more brand awareness, have consumed more information. And then also, these are just stellar. These are women who came in who weren't getting XYZ result, who were stuck, and then got to their desired result and are like absolute brand all-stars. They just love it, okay? So this is super, super valuable to do both of these, and they both have their place, all right? So for video reviews and customer interviews. Video reviews, and then some of these also on Trustpilot, we use in a ton of the marketing. So emailing out, so like anytime something makes the site, we're emailing to it, to the lists that are like, oh, hey, new video interview, new customer success interview. Video reviews, these are using a bunch of ads, so like UGC style. These are clipped together or either standalone and are run as ads. And this just fuels the business. It's just like this flywheel of like more customers come in, happy success. If you have the thing set up to collect information and reviews, then pushing that all the way back to marketing and just constant feedback loop. And then, all these guys say, it's like if you have a good enough product, you don't even need marketing. And we still do need marketing because, we don't have all this referral traffic that can keep us to the pace that we're at. But funneling these people back into the front end is like gold. Like you get multiples on lift, and then same thing with consumption. You have more people consuming content of people that are like them, that were in the situation that they were in or they are in and they want to get to, right? So it's like just that classic loop. All right, now how we collect. This is the favorite part. So how we collect, or how we have in the past. So upgraded product. So what this means, we actually sold this from Sam Ovens back in the day. So he had consulting, I want to say it was Up Level, maybe it was Accelerator, but he basically made like an updated version that he was going to launch, and that's what he was going to sell starting tomorrow, right? So we've done this where we used to sell an info product where we created a 2.0 version. As soon as the 2.0 version's live, all of your new customers that you're talking to on the phone are buying and only getting in 2.0, okay? You have 10,000 customers that are sitting in the first one. Now, you can either, for 20% of the price or whatever, you can upgrade. For full price, you can upgrade. Or, if it's valuable enough for you, it's just a login access. There's no cost to it. So easily, you can just say, I will give you access to this if you give us a review. right? So what we do is we send them to this page and say, do as many of these as like possible. Do at least 3 of these. Do whatever. And these are the core ones for us. So we're like, we need a video submitted review, and then we need 1 of these. All right. And generally, it's Trustpilot, it's a testimonial, and then like 1 of these other ones. Okay, are the core ones. And each one is specific, and I'll kind of get into that. So, upgraded product was a huge one back in the day, and that's how we got a lot of the initial testimonials. And it was for an older product, so you won't see those on the site because we have like high hundreds, I think maybe even over 1,000 actual like video testimonial reviews. But they're like different products and different pieces. That might be a little high, but I can look exactly. But we have a ton of them. So now we've been very selective, and we have only the fresh ones, only the ones in the age bracket, only the ones specific for this product and offering, just to double down on making sure that it's in alignment. Swag discount code. We have a shop front that is basically just branded swag. Took us forever to get it going, but now that we have it, a lot of them want to rep it. So we will give pretty steep discounts, just basically just cover our costs is the whole goal of that. It's not a moneymaker, it never will be, it won't be a needle mover. So we just do a discount code and we'll push it out to the community randomly. And that's also included in the footer of some of the emails on the way in. So to get swag as well as like get reviews if you want to use a discount. Okay. 4 months free. This is a push. Excuse me. So the goal here is run a contest basically to get as many reviews as humanly possible. Okay. So we did a launch that was, I think, 2 weeks long inside of our community. And it doesn't even need to be that long, depending on how active and like how much time it takes to reach your customers, or like to have the engagement. And basically we were like, for us, let's say it costs $1,000 to fulfill on your product. If it's an info product, it's a little difficult, but you need something else that you can give them. So for us, it's a recurring product where we can say, we can add 4 months to your membership if you win this contest. And to enter the contest, you just need to submit a ton of reviews. So our offer was you get 4 months added to your membership for free if you submit all these, and we're going to do a raffle, or like we're going to draw one, whatever that's called. Okay? So we got like 100 and something reviews. So we had just launched on Trustpilot, and we got like 115 in a week that came in that were all legit, organic through and through. So that was a really good one for us. And again, for our costs, if it's $1,000 to have a coach for a year, whatever it is, that's $400. You're going to pay $400 to get 100 and something. That's $4 review. Yes. I just saw Hormozy post about this too. So he has insanely good content on acquisition.com. He has an email list that he sends out, like Mosey Minutes. And he talked about doing this with swag. So like kind of a combination of those two, where you ordered hundreds of t-shirts and they were specifically only for people who left reviews. So you just like couldn't even buy it. The only way you could get it is if you left reviews on all 3 things, you got a swag. You got some swag. So a version of that, credit to him in that way. But we have been running this for a minute, these random push. So we do this one every 3 to 6 months where we do a push for free or for an extended membership. And that's a big one. The newest one, and this is kind of like a flip of it, is compensating the coaches and having competition. So this is currently active for us now in March of 2025. We have a coach competition that's like 10 days long, where we came up with dollar values that we were willing to give. So let's say it's $1,000, $500, and $250 for the top 3 places. And it's who can get the most reviews from their current clientele. So every coach will have 50, 75, onboarding ones, 20, 30 active clients. Now, how many can you get submitted? And then whoever wins it over that 10-day range gets the first, second, third place. Okay. And this one right now, we're like a day or 2 in and it already has 50 something just on Trustpilot. And then the reviews are following, the video reviews are following. And then from those, we find customer interviews and we pull these things out. The customer interviews one is like the end all be all, in my opinion. Like video reviews are used the most in marketing. Customer interviews are used the most in consumption and like getting them warmed up to the idea of even booking a call, or once they booked a call, getting them in that rabbit hole of consumption before they get on a call to buy something high ticket. So I'm a huge fan of these. These are just kind of quicker clips and like are consumed more just because it's more frequent because they're shorter. But customer reviews go deeper. So that's the end all goal of this whole piece, and then flywheel back up into the funnel marketing. And it's huge. So we see a direct indicator when we have these working. When we have bad reviews, we see a direct indicator of show rates and stuff like that. So that's how we do it. Feel free to ask any questions. Again, I'm just documenting what we've done, what we actively do, and how we are working to scale to 100 million a year. Just no guru bullshit, no nothing. So if you guys have any specifics you want, if you're curious about anything, drop comments, DM me on Instagram, link will be below, and I can make videos about it and just sharing what we've done. So appreciate you. Talk soon.